Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a bit different because that's kind of what we do on Wednesdays, and we're going to be ranking every Premier League captain this season. So yeah, I've got a list of all the Premier League captains. Well, I know they change around a bit, but like the main ones, and we're going to be ranking them from 1 to 18. So 18 being the worst, 1 being the best. And yeah, that's basically what we're going to be doing today. If you are new around here and you have not yet subscribed, you need to go down there and press that button because it kind of just helps me. And then you also, if you do like this video, do indeed press the like button because that will also help me. So yeah, but let's get straight into it. So starting with the 18th position, I've got Billy Sharp. Billy Sharp, I know that the reason I put him here is because when I've looked, so I've been on Google and I've basically looked at the Prem captains. And he's not really there that often. He doesn't play that often. I think Egan might be or Basham, but he was the person that was there. So I've kind of put him in 18th because I don't really know that. I know a lot about him before he joined Sheffield United, but he's not. I don't think he's played loads since he's been at Sheffield United in the Prem, and I don't think he's going to be. He's the best of captains, and I think they should have either Basham or Egan as a captain or Fleck, but that's what kind of came up for me. So 17th now. I guess that was kind of quick. We've got Maguire. So Maguire, he is kind of still the captain for Man United, but not really because of what he did, and that's the reason why he's so low down the list because he's just not really. He was a leader. I would have put him higher up, but because of what he did, it's really just not good for the team and the team morale and everything like that. So he is 17th. I just think he would be good, but he just because of what he's done, he's just not responsible enough. 16th now, we've got Cooper from Leeds United. Yeah, again, don't know much about him, but I know that he is a decent captain, but I think he also changes around a bit with Phillips or other players, so that's why I put him in 16th because he's just a bit like meh. He's not a well-known good player for Leeds United, but they could have Bamford, they could have Phillips, they could have Pablo Hernandez, but no, Cooper is the one that came up for me. So moving on to 15th now, we've got Lascelles. Lascelles is good. I think Lascelles is good. 15th's alright, but the problem is I think they just leak too much goals in the defence anyway, so I think he's not good enough as a player, but as a team kind of player, he is good. So that's why I put him a bit further down the list. 14th now, we've got Jake Livermore, the West Brom player, and I'm not trying to be biased, but I think he is a very good captain, and I think with some England caps himself, and I mean he's been around for quite a while now. He knows how things go and how to keep a team strong and keep teams morale up when things aren't going that well. But yeah, 14th is alright, but 13th now is the last of the newly promoted sides in Kearney. So Kearney's been at the club for quite a while now. I think he was also at the club when Scott Parker was there, and Scott Parker's the manager now. So yeah, and I think he's a leader. I can see like him being a leader in the club and in the dressing room just because of who he is and his personality and stuff. So I think Kearney's a good captain, 13th position for him. So 12th now, we've got Wes Morgan. I know he's not always the captain because he doesn't always start, but when he does start, he's a very good captain. He might not be the best on the ball, but he was literally the captain of the team that won Leicester the league. So you kind of can't just say he's not that good because he literally led a team to the Premier League for the first time ever. And I mean, I can see he's a very good leader. There's a lot of centre backs and defence minded players that have good leaders, but sometimes it is like attacking players, and that's what we've got next. Sorry if you can hear that. It should stop in a minute. But if you can't, then that's good. So 10th, we've got Ward Prowse, an attacking minded player, but I think a good captain. Been at the club for quite a while now, and him and Redmond and Ings are, I mean, good together, and I think he's probably the best captain I would give out of the whole Southampton team. I just don't see anybody else being a captain. Ings maybe next season or season after. Redmond is probably between him and Redmond, but I think there's a good decision picking him. And saying Højbjerg was it before, I think he's replaced him pretty well from last season. So moving on to 9th now, so in the top 10. Well, I mean, before in kind of in the top 10, but properly now. So, Seamus Coleman. Coleman's been at the club for quite a while now. I think he might have been around while Leighton Baines was there. Don't know what's happened to him. I don't know if he is still there. He might be. I can't remember. But yeah, Seamus Coleman is a pretty good player. And he's a leader. I can see he's a leader. I mean, what else have I really got to say? He's just a good leader. Maybe they put Keane as him instead of him, but I think Coleman's just been around the dressing room for long enough and been around a lot of different managers, so they know the tactics of a lot of different managers. And yeah, so I think he's good. There's not really much I can say, but about any of these people really, except from when you get up there, when you get to them top 3, you can say a lot because it's clear that they are like true captains. But moving on to 8th now, Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish, I believe a youth product from Aston Villa and has been at the club since, so that was a while ago now. And I mean, he's probably the best player at Villa. And I mean, it's saying when there's young players that come up at Villa or young players that Villa sign, he can kind of like he can kind of nurture them because he was in the same boat as them not that long ago. And I mean, look at him now; he's very, very good, and he's just signed a contract, so he won't leave, and that's even better for Villa fans, and just means he gets to be a captain for a lot longer. And he's got his England call up now, and yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he's got an England call up. But moving on to 7th now, Ben Mee. Ben Mee is a very, very good. I can see he is very good with the team, and he keeps the team's morale up. So last season, if you didn't know, I mean, even now, to be fair, the board hasn't been good with Sean Dyche. He's not letting them spend any money, and so they've got like nobody on the bench, like a very slim squad. And Ben Mee and Tarkowski have been really really getting the team together, I think, and just getting everything going. They're saying how well they finished last season, even with like no bench. I mean, what else have I got to prove of him? He's a very good player, and I think he's very underrated. Very underrated. But 6th now, Dunk. Dunk is a very, very good captain. He's a leader. He's a born leader. I can see that in him. And, well, I mean, you can kind of see that in the final. Maybe not the next one, but yeah, he's kind of lives and breathes Brighton, even though he's been linked to leave quite a few times. He's signed a contract now, I believe. Actually, no, I don't know if he signed the contract, but he's been linked to lead to Chelsea, and there's kind of a reason why, because he is just such a born leader, and he does so much for the club, and he's a good player as well. But 5th now, this might be a bit controversial, but I'm saying Aubameyang. Aubameyang, I'm mainly saying it, even though I've got an Arsenal shirt on right now, I'm mainly saying it just because of how good he is. I think how good he is kind of spurs on Arsenal. When they need somebody to step up, he steps up. And yeah, I mean, he's proven that winning the FA Cup and the Community Shield and scoring in both of them, I think he's definitely a player who will step up for the club. And that's also what you need in the captain, not just a born leader, somebody that will step up when the team's not really playing that well. Number 4 now, 4th position, I'm saying Lloris, so just missing out the top 3. Lloris has been the captain for a long time for Tottenham, and he's a good goalie. He's a good goalie, very reliable goalie, and there's a reason why he's captain. He's definitely, like, if you watch him play, when things aren't going right, he will really drill into them defenders, and I think he makes them better. I think he's just a very, very good player, and you can see he is a born leader, like I've said, and I don't know how long he's been the captain now, but nevertheless, he is. I mean, I wouldn't really have anybody else except maybe Kane, but I think Reece is better than Kane at being a captain anyway, and he doesn't dribble his words. I mean, a bit like me, to be fair. Top 3 now, we've got Fernandinho in 3rd. I think he is very underrated. I think it's just because of how good the Man City side is and how good the midfield is, that I know he doesn't always play, but when he does play, he commands that midfield very well, and that defence as very well. Especially last season when they were struggling with the defence, he moved into centre back and then did what was needed in the team to help the team, and did quite well, to be fair. I think he did very well. I really rate him, and I think he could be a centre back if he wanted to, but I mean, he's sticking at CDM, I think. But yeah, so he's my number 3 spot. Moving into the top 2 now, so you can probably guess who my number 1 spot is. But second place, Azpilicueta. Oh, the noise is back again. Sorry if you can hear that. Azpilicueta, been at Chelsea for quite a while now, and very, very good. Very, very good captain. You see him, and he doesn't always just drill into the players, but he coaches them. He's like another manager. And especially when you've got a young manager, well, he's not as young as the players, but he he's like been around for a while and he knows how to like help young kids. That sounds a bit dodgy. No, just nurture them and make sure they kind of get back on the right track. And saying that, how many young players they had last season, I think he was a very good captain, and Frank Lampard did good to pick him. So moving on to my number one spot now, we've got Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson, I think, Player of the Year for one of the awards. There's a lot of awards, and I mean maybe not deserved because of De Bruyne, but deserved for Liverpool. I think very, very good player, very, very underrated for a long time in his career. And I think now he's just getting realised how good he actually is and how much he actually means to the club. Because without him, I think Liverpool would be not quite as. I mean, they'd still be doing very well because their team is very good. But I think he is a very important rock in Liverpool's midfield, defence, attack, just the whole team really. And I think Jurgen Klopp's had a choose a good captain there, and I back him to win them another trophy, which is what I said in my Prem predictions. And if you've not watched that, you can go probably press the I button and watch that. But yeah, that is it for my ranking Premier League captains video. If you like this video and you like this style of video, then like the video. And if you want to see me rank anything else, doing according to football, I can do championship captains if you want. I can do different league captains. I can do completely different thing. I can do, don't know, strikers. I can do anything. But yeah, if you have not subscribed, also go down and press that button as well. And yeah, thanks for watching.